Hi, besties. Welcome back to another episode of I Am Bestie. I'm your host. I'll say guest host, but ain't nobody guessing. So, our baby girl Stephanie is not here today. She's catching flights and feelings, living her best life in Mexico. Shout out to her. We're missing you every bit. But today, we're here with the one, the only, the brands behind the brand, the mastermind, Denitza Leon.
No, I am really excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me. This is my second podcast, but I feel like it's been a year since the last one. So
Yeah. No, but you have a lot of practice. I mean, you're literally the brains behind it all. You move machines. Like I feel like this is light work for you, I think. I don't think you have to work too hard. So I'm really excited to have you here. I think as a woman, as a Latina, it's really important for us as, a Latina empowered channel to talk about where do we fit in these spaces and where do we sometimes break, into roles that are non-traditional, right? And I
yeah.
think your company is very non-traditional for Latinas to be in. And not only are you in this space, but you're killing it. So talk to the besties a little bit. Who are you? What should we look for? What do you do? What are the brands that you're seeing? I mean,
Yeah.
we're the mastermind right here.
Well, my name is Denitza Leon, and I'm the founder and creative director of Ouuilove. We're a full service creative marketing agency located in Santa Fe Springs. So
Mhm.
some of the brands that we work with are Te Salud, Bella All Natural, and some of our past clients have been beauty creations. So
Oh my
just a little
God.
taste of some.
I love beauty creations. They used to have this one lipstick that it was my favorite, like pink nude, and I've never found it again. And I need to go like find it. You just reminded me that.
Girl, you better search that website.
I know. I'm like, can y'all just send me something with Denitza for real? Like, just send it to me or something real quick. Yeah. Oh my God. So you guys know Te Salud. If you don't know, you already know. Use code IEBesties for 10% off. But that is a huge brand. Like, first, before you're the brand, how did you even decide to break into this space?
Yeah. So it kind of just came about in a probably not the best way because I was let go from a startup beauty company I was working for 5 days before Christmas. And
Wow.
it really just, I think, affected my ego when that
Mm-hmm.
happened because I was on the way of being pretty much a director and leading a team. But when that happened, my boyfriend was just like, "You've always talked about your creative marketing agency and wanting to own one. Like, why not start now?"
Mm.
Now, at that point, I was at the top of my career, or so it felt like.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you get let go from a company, it really just affects your ego. And I
Mm-hmm.
think I went through the crying process. My mom told me, she's like, cry today, but tomorrow, put your big girl pants on and figure out what you want to do.
Mm.
So I kid you not, I had um, went out and I went and bought products for beauty creations. I went to
Mm-hmm.
the swap meet and I was like, I met someone from beauty creations through my mom. We went to a makeup event, a free makeup class in Downey, and we met Brenda Monique.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got let go, I called her, sent her a DM, and I was just like, "Hey, I'm thinking about starting this company," and she's like, "Okay, let's set up a call." So when I set up the call with her, she was just like, "Get your shit together, girl."
Mm.
And so that's when I really went out and I bought the products of beauty creations at the swap meet. And from there, I photographed their products for like what potentially would look like for a website and email marketing, a revamped website. And she told me to come to the Fame Expo. I don't even know if Fame Expo is still around, but I went and I was able to set up a meeting with them and I pitched them a whole pitch deck. And
Wow.
they ended up being our client for many years. And
Mm.
I think that's just gratifying in itself. And I, at that time, didn't know where I was going to be heading at in the business, but it really, I think looking back at it now, I'm like, wow, like we've come a long way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's really important. Having someone believe in you, and I think as Latinas, sometimes it's like we have to believe in ourselves, right? Like it's like, well, who's really gonna tell me I can open up this whole creative marketing agency if
Yeah,
because it's a crazy idea, right?
no,
To tell
absolutely.
are your parents some immigrants?
So my mom came here when she was like 2 months old,
Okay.
and then my dad was born here.
Okay.
So I'm pretty much second generation.
Mhm.
But I grew up in a household with my grandparents who are Peruvian, and they're both immigrants, or they were. So I think being in that environment, I grew up in a fábrica. So they
Mhm.
did costura. They had accounts like Volcom, Paul Frank,
Oh wow.
Stussy. Like,
Mhm.
so I got to work with a lot of people who were immigrants and
Mhm.
understand that dynamic. But I don't think I understood the creative world until maybe I was like 18, 20s because of the rise of blogs and I was interning and I thought I wanted to be fully PR. I mean, that's what I went to school for was public relations.
Oh wow. I've been curious about PR. I'm like, I feel like I would love that space. Is it just mostly like dealing with people?
Um, I mean, at the time when I was learning about it more, and I actually interned for a PR agency called, I think it was LPR. They did a lot of gifting suites, and it seemed too slow paced, like
Okay.
traditional wise, and I had already been exposed to like online, and I feel like the online space was so new, and people were like, well, we don't know what direction it's gonna go. You know, a lot of people were still stuck on traditional marketing.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, online is such a crazy place to be. I feel like you really get exposure to a lot of different things and a lot of different people. And it's really a whole different world. Like when I think about the internet, I'm like, this is not the same internet that I was in middle school, like trying to do research on what Egyptian mythology is. That, like it's not. I swear, like if I were to look up, well, if I were to look up my name, it'd be a lot more different things than Egyptian mythology. But that's really awesome. So you went to school thinking you were gonna do PR.
Mhm.
You were working your career, got let go, and you're like, you know what? I could do this on my own. I need to do marketing. What really inspired you about marketing that was different about what you were doing before?
Well, I mean, my career, I got into e-commerce really early on. It was
Mm.
like Facebook was a platform to be on.
Mm-hmm.
Instagram was strictly still iPhone. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if that doesn't tell you how, then I don't know. But it really,
Giving pioneer.
there you go. um, I think I was just attracted to the idea of like photographing or video and this new space that people weren't really tapping into. I mean, I got to work with a team who literally within a year, Amazon flew us out and was like, what the heck are you guys doing? I worked for
Wow.
this footwear company for nearly 9 years and
Mm-hmm.
started there at 16, left there in my mid 20s. But
Wow.
I got to see early on the power of online and e-commerce, um, and to see that growth in a year. Like online in itself, they had 85 stores across the US. It was
Mm-hmm.
Robert Wayne Footwear. And they carried brands like Vans, Puma, Adidas, Uggs, Doc Martens. But really early on, I was like, they were making millions on a Black Friday. And to see that from online, I think it was just appealing, like, and understanding how to tell a story for a product. Like, how are we going to market it? We were doing email marketing. I was able to develop a list for them of over 35,000 emails within a year before I left.
Wow.
So I wouldn't say I went to school for marketing, but a lot of what I do know is self-taught. And when I didn't know something, I was like, okay, I need to invest back into myself because it's an ever-changing landscape.
Yeah, yeah, dang. I feel like the internet changes now it's TikTok shop, right?
TikTok shop is
It's true. I remember back then Facebook was the end all be all, and now it's TikTok. Isn't that insane?
it's like I was telling the team, we were just having these conversations about learning one platform and you're mastering it and then a new one comes up and we even said we're like, who knows, maybe next year it's going to be Snapchat again.
Yeah.
But yeah, TikTok, I mean, people are making over 7 figures like doing mega lives and
That is insane.
mm-hmm.
I just saw a podcast with a full coverage. It's like Laura Lee and Manny MUA.
Okay.
And they had made by Mitchell, like made by Mitchell, and
Okay.
he was talking about how he has a brand, he has a makeup brand, and he has investors, and that a month when he first started, before they got on TikTok, he was only selling like 12, like 20 products per month.
Mhm.
And then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna just go on TikTok and try he was like one of the first companies to use like the live feature and where people could just shop live. And he said, he's like, in that first like few hours, we sold like 20 units. He's like, and that's all the units that I would make in a month. So I'm like, no, we need to keep doing this. And so he said that he kept doing it and doing it and doing it until one day he got really successful at it. And then TikTok reached out to him like, you know what, we want to partner with you, want to help you with like Made by Mitchell. And so like they helped him set up a studio, they're helping with logistics and all that stuff. And they're like, all right, our goal is 500,000. And he's like, oh my God, how
Wow.
am I gonna sell 500,000? Like that's literally insane. You know, he's like, all right, but he was doing it every day. He was consistent. He would get on that live and he would sell. So finally, at their big day, he sold $1 million of product
You see what I mean? In one day. Like, that's what is
in a
so
few hours.
mind blowing. I tell clients, I'm like, at least right now, I'm like, pivot your marketing strategies. I'm not saying like give up your website, give up your Instagram or even Facebook if you're running ads, but invest or allocate some time or budget to TikTok because you will see return on it. I think we're very early on. Like we just went to an event earlier this month and someone spoke about right now is the time to hop on TikTok shop or TikTok shop and before luxury brands do, because then it's going to be much more competitive. And right now TikTok shop is doing co-funded coupons. So they're giving you money, pretty much investing into your brand.
Wow.
Especially during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. But I think TikTok shop really just excites me. I think it's a new landscape. We're learning. I think I always tell our team like stay curious. Yeah. At least in marketing.
Yeah, I feel like you're right. You never really know because you think one thing and then like people like you saying are making 6 figures, 7 figures on TikTok alone. And that's just a little video here and there, a little bit of the promotion. And I think what makes TikTok different is that TikTok, the company, also wants to help and support. And I think with like IG or Facebook, they just got too big.
Yeah, they're not nurturing small business owners. And I think, we've been able to see it with some other people we've met in the industry. And right now is the time. I mean, if you're a small business, if you're struggling, if you feel like it's a sink or swim for me this quarter, test out TikTok shop. Even ourselves as a service-based business, like we're hopping on lives during photo shoots. Why? Because we as a creative marketing team, we need to be aware of the platform. How do the gifting on lives work? What are the goals that we're trying to achieve on this live? I mean, even ourselves, we're growing our platform, but we're just service-based. Yeah. Imagine if we had a product.
I know.
Maybe coming soon.
Hey, stay tuned. Honestly, I love the decorations in your new studio. First, congrats. It's awesome. It looks gorgeous. I'm so sad that I was unable to make it. I literally was on a flight to get here. And I was like calculating. I'm like, all right, if I land, I get there. And I'm like, nah, I'm not even going to be able to make it. Yeah, but I was so sad that I missed it because your studio looks amazing. Is this your second studio that you open or your first official, like, full service?
It's actually my third.
Your third, okay.
Yes, it's my third location. The first one was in downtown Santa Ana. And I kid you not, it was shared with 4 of the creatives. And within a year, I had to move out. It was certain things happened in my life where, but then I went to Whittier. I had my studio at home in Whittier. It was during the pandemic, but we were just growing so rapidly that I was like, okay, it's post-pandemic now. Like, I don't fit in this bedroom that I've made a studio space. So I moved to Whittier, and we were in Uptown Whittier for over maybe 3 years. But within a year, we outgrew that place, and it was really hard for me to let it go. Like, I was emotionally attached to a location. But this place came about in Santa Fe Springs. I got to tour it. And as soon as I walked in, I had the vision of every section of what it was going to be. And it's literally what we've made it now and what it is. Like, we created a lounge area so that we had envisioned models, producers, talent being able to hang out there or create content. We have a beauty vanity area for hair and makeup. And we've been able to see some of our clients, how they use it. A styling area for stylists or for wardrobe. We have a beautiful cycle that I've built with my boyfriend and his dad all summer. And that's probably one of the hardest things I've had to do as a business owner.
I bet. You put your blood, sweat, and tears in it.
Exactly. I always tell people, I'm like, I cried right there, okay?
You're like, I'm going to preserve those tears. Yeah, put some resin on it.
For real. That's why I see people, I'm like, make sure you're wearing your booties on there.
It's a labor of love. A labor
Absolutely.
of love. Yeah. That's awesome. I think it's really, to hear, sometimes you got to hear, sometimes it first started with me sharing a dream or a space with other people, then investing in myself and seeing like, take a little bit more risk on myself. And then like it's producing and like there's profit and I'm just going to go big or go home,
Yeah.
And I love the style of your studio. It's gorgeous. The tones are beautiful. Like, I just love it.
No, thank you. We actually partnered up with an interior designer, and she was phenomenal through the process. I told her, like, this is a timeline we have. Like, I need to have a grand opening in September because we need to open our doors already.
Mhm.
We had moved in August 1st.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
That was quick.
Well, we started renovations in June.
Okay.
As soon as we announced it on social, that was like the same day that we already were starting
Oh my God.
renovation. So that was July, August. Yeah, so almost like 3 months, I would say.
Oh my God.
But
That's exciting.
the decor and everything really came with like the revamp of our brand.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you know Ouuilove prior, we were very much in the pastels and I think what was trending at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the person who I was then as a business owner is completely different to who I am now. Like I wanted the branding to really align with me as a Latina woman and what I represent and who we represent, our clients and our team. And we wanted to adopt brown tones for just to represent our Latino community and the diversity that our team really brings.
That's really important. I think like representation, it really matters. Tell me, have you ever had an instance, because marketing, when I think of marketing, I think of it's a predominantly white space, right? There's not a lot of people of color. Have you had a lot of instances with like maybe some men who've like tried to mansplain or, be the loudest voice in the room when maybe they should have shut the fuck up?
They should have just zipped
Yeah.
it. No, absolutely. When we flew out to meet with Amazon, at that time I was a digital marketing coordinator. We flew out and they had turned to me in the room and they said, "Oh, are you the intern?" And at that moment, obviously I'm in a position where one, I'm meeting with this brand, but two, it's like I'm here for a reason. And little did they know, I was the one photographing the products, working with our Amazon team internally that we had to list our products up. And I was like, no, I'm not the intern. And, I shared with them that I'm part of the team who's bringing in the millions. So it's just, for me, I think sometimes as a woman, and especially a Latina woman in my career, there has been challenges, but I know what I bring to the table now. I think back then I wasn't as confident, but I know now like I deserve to be here and I'm here for a reason.
Right.
So.
I love that. What advice do you give to somebody who's the only Latina in the room and they get told like you're an intern? Are you an intern?
I would definitely look at them straight in the eyes and say, no, I'm not an intern. And I think you don't have to prove to them because really it's a matter of your work is proof of what your knowledge, your skills. I mean, they don't know how hard it probably was to put yourself through school or maybe some of the sacrifices that you've had to make or just in your life personally. Like I always say, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
Yeah.
But I do believe that we're all meant to be here and in a space that's maybe with another male across the table. I think have a voice. Be polite. I always say be respectful, especially if you're in corporate. I think corporate can be a little stuffy, but I really truly believe as a woman, like we have the right to be in places and positions of power. It's just a matter of finding our way.
Right. Man, I think I never thought about that. Like, you don't have to prove to them that you have to be here, and like the work speaks for itself. I don't know why I had never thought about that. I always felt like when I had been in those circumstances, because I'm in politics, so I'm often, well, especially back when I was younger, not so much now in my new role, but when I used to work for a politician, a lot of the areas that we covered were like predominantly white or older men. So when I would come introduce myself, they would literally pretend they wouldn't even see me. Like I would be like, oh my God, hi, I'm so and so, I work for so and so. I'd be like, oh great, and then they would like just shift and turn their whole entire back to me. And I'd be like, oh my God. And it would just be the most humiliating experience every time because I was really young. So at
Yeah.
that point, I didn't really have the career or the bravado, or maybe I didn't feel like I had that worth at that time to be like, oh, well, motherfucker, fuck you. I'm here with so and so. Like, you're going to fucking see my card and you're going to fucking know who I am. Because next time when you see me with him, you're going to want to say hello,
Yeah.
But that takes some time. Like, it takes some time. I think if you're in that situation when you're early on, damn, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know what I would.
I always tell our team, I'm like, you have a voice here. And I always ask them, like, what are your thoughts on this? Or, like, what do you feel? Like, because I think it's important to encourage confidence in our
Mhm.
team. Because I do think in the environment that I was in, sometimes it was like dismissing
Mhm.
and not making it a collaborative environment.
Yep.
And I feel like we have women and we have men on our team that I want them to know they each have a voice and that should be heard.
Yeah, that's really important. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I'm trying to think, what would I tell my 22-year-old self, which I wish was like just yesterday. I'm like, unfortunately, it's not. It's like 5 years later. You could do the math in your head. I'm like, what would I tell my 22-year-old self in that moment when I just got ignored? Actually, I do know what I would tell myself, because I would tell myself this often. It's never personal. It's always professional. I feel like that's the best advice I could give anyone when you're in a circumstance where people are belittling you because maybe they don't know your role, maybe they don't know you, maybe they're not gonna have respect for you because you're just you. I always say never take it personal. Always take it like as a professional take, right? Like, he was ignoring me because professionally he didn't know who I was and who I was representing. Well, I think personally he was ignoring me because that was me too. He probably didn't like that he was seeing some young Latina girl come to the city hall meetings and like try to just even introduce myself. Like, they were all
Yeah.
dismissive. So it can also be personal, but you should never take it personal. You should never take it home with you. I think that's my advice. Do you have something different maybe?
To my 22-year-old self,
Yeah.
I would tell myself not to be fearless and to look at myself in the mirror each day and remind myself, like, to be confident and to have a voice and to never stop learning, because I feel like that is such a key part in who we become. They say you get wiser as you get
Mm-hmm.
older, and I truly believe that. Like, maybe back then, what I was doing at 22, I probably would have been like, "Girl, you need to check yourself, like
Yeah.
realign." But
Yeah.
I see some of the 22-year-olds now, and I'm like,
Yeah.
people are full blown business owners.
Yeah. People
And
are fearless.
yeah, like, I give them credit. I'm like, to have that confidence and to know what you want at that age uh, it's admirable,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. But
Yeah. I think you have to like, it's funny because I think when we're young, we're audacious, right? Like, we feel like we know everything. Like, we're embarrassed. I mean, we freaking post when we're blacked out 3 days in a row having a blend, like post the craziest things, but it's like sometimes we don't have that same audacity or lack the audacity within ourselves. Because sometimes you should just do shit. Like you said, I know so many people when I think back, even in high school, they wanted to do clothes and they just started, printing their t-shirts and, selling it to their homies. And I'm like, even doing that is a really big step.
yeah,
Like, that's
absolutely.
huge. I think, you know, people try to compare things, right? Like, oh my God, this big old brand and I sell candles and they sell candles, but like, I only have like 10 candles and I make them at home. I think you still need to realize you went out, you got product, you probably did some research, R&D, right? Like, they were over here making their own investments, trying to then market like as a small brand. What do you think are kind of some like three key pillars if you're starting your brand and you're really tiny? Like, I only sell 10 candles, to 10 people a month, if that. Like, what are the 3 key pillars that I should think about as a small business?
Well, I think one, it's understanding your products as a whole. Like, what's your story? Who are you marketing to? A lot of times people are like, I developed this product and I'm going to sell it. But who are you selling it to? I really think that marketing plays a key part when you're developing a brand or a product, because in that, we're trying to identify, like, as a brand, who's your persona? Is it a primary, a secondary? And I also think your financials. I got accepted into the Goldman Sachs class early this
Oh
year.
my God, congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
so awesome.
So when I took that class, they talked about our Holy Trinity, and that being 1, your lawyer, 2, your banker, and 3, I want to say is the accounting team. They're going to probably be like, Denitza, you don't remember? But that
They won't show we won't show the display.
But really, your financials, I feel, are such a key part when it comes to your business. Like, how much are you really investing, and how much do you need in order to make a profit? Sometimes we go in and we're like, okay, I spent maybe $5,000 on my products. Well, if you only had $10,000, now the other $5,000, where are you investing that in your business? Is it your marketing? Is it going to be for the next pop-ups that you do for the month? Or is it going to be to build your website? So I think it can be overwhelming when you're first starting off developing a brand and trying to identify, okay, what route should I go? But start with a business plan. If I can go back to when I started Ouuilove, I wish I had developed a business plan. But there is no wrong or right way, I think, to really start a brand or business, but it's just a matter of laying down your thoughts. Develop a roadmap. Where is it that you want to take your business in a year? Where is it that you want to take your business in the next 5 years? Where do you aspire to be in?
So plan, I think, sounds like build your plan, know your finances, what you can and can't spend your money on, and like, who is your audience, right? If you're developing these candles, is it a sandalwood, or maybe it's, marketed to men, right? Or is it a bubblegum princess and you're marketing to the 10-year-old girls who watch JoJo Siwa? I don't know if she still does little cute things like that, but like, think about the customer in mind first. Not that you have to create the product around the customer, but once you create the product, it's like, well, who is this for?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what problem is it solving in someone's life? I always tell someone, like, so if I'm marketing this product here, what am I supposed to feel with it? Or how is it supposed to benefit me in some way as a customer? So anytime we develop a campaign for one of our clients where, like, we fully immerse ourselves in the product, I'm like, well, how is it created? What was it created for? What are we supposed to be selling here? Or telling, I should say. What story should we be telling here?
Yeah.
I think same goes for when you're developing a brand. What's the story? It could be something emotional, or it could be something you're extremely upset about, and you're like, it was just missing this audience specifically.
Yeah. So how did you come up with your name?
Oh,
I
love.
Yeah. I like it's in the name. I love it.
So it actually means, when you take a step back and you look at your work that you've completed creatively, or even if you painted something and you're like, ooh, I love that.
I love that. Oh, ooh, I love that. I think it's cute because it's, I guess you're kind of in a way saying, like, I love, like, exactly what I do. And you want your clients to love, like, what they're seeing in front of them.
Yeah.
See, you guys to come up with a creative name. Do you think the name matters?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know. I sometimes see some of these brands that are doing extremely well. I'm like, that's their brand name. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, some are crazy. Like, I watch Hot Ones. The one's like an atomic bomb.
Oh,
or
yes.
I think it's called.
Is it the birria ones? The ones?
No. It's like, what the fuck? It's like a. I'm like, I can't think. I think it's like atomic bomb, and it's literally has like a nuclear war kind of warning on the bottle.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be like one of the hottest, like, hot sauces in the entire world. Like, every time one of the celebrities eats it, everyone, like, they're blowing smoke out of their eyes, ears, and other holes.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And I'm just
That
like,
sounds painful.
it sounds painful. I'm like, personally, I would never reach for an atomic freaking bomb. Like, why would I even eat that?
No way. That sounds like a heart attack
No,
waiting to happen.
for sure. That guy at least has to be drinking like 7 Pepto-Bismols like a week. Like, there's no way his intestines are okay. Like, those shits look crazy. Like, when I look at him, like, oh hell no. Personally, I could never eat. And I like spicy food, but atomic bomb?
Yeah, the
No.
name in itself.
I'm like, what were they trying to solve? Hunger. Because I'm sure that shit you're not gonna be able to eat a single motherfucking thing after. Yeah, no, I feel like I personally, shout out to those people if you guys, ordered that and whoever created that. I'm not saying anything negative. I'm just saying personally, me, I would have been scared. Like that in the aisle, like in the grocery store, I feel like it should be that and then Pepto or like Tums or some crazy shit.
Hey, maybe a collab. You never know.
You know what, hot ones? If y'all collab, let me know because we just gave y'all that idea. So we're gonna need like 10%. We're gonna need like 10%. Okay, so you're from Peru. My niece is from Peru. My sister married a Peruano.
No way.
I'm dying to go to like Machu Picchu.
Girl, you need to go.
I've heard like so many gorgeous things. My sister went and they do like like indigenous people there. They still do I can't think of it, like the artisan, the way they do like their clothes. Is it with llama wool?
Yeah, so they use the llama or the llama, and it's really cool because when we went, what was it, Aguascalientes? I might be confusing myself, but we took a train and we stopped at every small town, and it was just so fascinating to see because I'm like, okay, yes, I'm Peruvian, but I think to learn more about the Peruvian culture and what some of their skill sets of what they're able to produce, and the wool there is impeccable. Like,
yeah,
people say cashmere. I'm like, wait till you have a little llama sweater.
Yeah, you know what? Send us one. I'm like, I'm dying to go.
Or a little chuño. So those are little beanies.
Oh my god, they're so cute. My sister has gone once, and she brought by like a bunch of shirts, like sweaters. They do like these really cute like sweaters with like little cartoonish kind of figures of like the llamas, the sun, the clouds. I was super random, but I was in Spain and I had seen like a little sweater that looked just like one that my nephew had from Peru when he was younger, and I was like, Karen, I'm in Spain. I was gonna bring you something from Spain, but I just found this little sweater from Peru all the way here in Spain, so I'm just gonna take that, and I'm gonna bring it back like a little bit of Peru from Spain. So I don't know. My sister still has that. Hopefully she does because it's really cute. And I would like to get it passed on. Not gonna have any kids anytime soon, but I think it'd be like a cute little arrangement. Yeah. Do you go a lot to your country?
So the last time I went to Peru was probably, trying to remember, probably over 8 years ago.
8 years? Oh my God. You used to go back. Wait, did you go to Machu Picchu?
Yes, we went to Machu Picchu.
Oh
we were there for 2 weeks, so we did 1 week going to Machu Picchu, where my family's from. They're from the north and south end of Peru. So north is Trujillo, where my papa's from, my grandfather. And then from the south is Arequipa, where my grandmother's from. So completely different. They met in Lima, and we still have some family there, but my grandparents were able to bring a lot of their family here to the States. So
awesome.
Growing up, I think the parties of hearing the music, Marinera, and the dancing. If you guys should look it up, the dancing is just like.
I used to see that. I've never seen that. Marinera, is that like the style of dance?
Yeah, it's the style of the dance.
Okay, I'm like, I feel like I need a visual because I'm like, what does that look like?
It's, well, at family parties.
I'm not gonna make you dance. I'm like, unless you want to.
Let me insert a clip of me. Yeah, no, some of them will dance with like a white handkerchief, where my papa's from, the north side, and they'll wave it in the air with their hand, and it's really beautiful. And from my grandmother's from, it's more like you're kind of stomping back and forth, and it's fun at family parties. I think growing up, seeing it, and now those of us who are cousins, like one of my cousins who got married, she had a father-daughter dance, and she did one of the dances.
That's so beautiful.
She had like the traditional clothing that they brought her back from Peru. So I was like, I love that. I was like, I need to do that potentially maybe at my wedding.
Yeah, that sounds like a really great idea. I think integrating cultures is like really important.
Yeah.
Because, since you're second generation, do you think your experience is much different than like a first generation?
I don't think so because, well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe for someone who's like a dreamer or DACA, like I feel for me where I got to see a lot of like immigrants were my grandparents because they
Mm-hmm.
didn't speak the language till this day. They don't speak English. And
Mm-hmm.
growing up, I was helping translate for them. I mean, when we would go do deliveries for Volcom, I would be there interpreting for my papa. And these were mass
Wow.
deliveries. But I really got to see like
Wow.
sometimes discrimination that would happen. We were delivering in the OC. And I think back then, things were not as progressive. And
Mm-hmm.
it very early on, I think I kind of caught on at those times and it was hard for me. And I always said, like, I don't want people to treat my family in that way, or I
Mm-hmm.
think others as Latinos. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so whenever I see Latinos, either one, they like, I don't understand what this is saying or what does it mean. Like, I always want to give a helping hand and be like,
Mm-hmm.
well, but I mean, again, I think everyone has their own story, their own
Mm-hmm.
challenges. But it's just, I think, a matter of us being united and helping one another out.
Yeah. I do think, because I know some people who are like third, fourth generation Latino, and I think since you had still a relationship with your grandparents, it is different than like them who maybe they didn't talk to their grandparents and they don't know the language and they miss it. Like I feel like your experience is still very much like first generation Latino, like having to do the translate. Like, why the hell are we translating really important documents at 6, 7 years old? Like, what the hell? How can I translate deliverable right now? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know
Girl, there was no
deliverable.
Google Translate back then.
And there was no Google Translate, no this, like, no, none of that. No, hell no. I just feel like times are crazy back then for real. Now you can just take a picture of your document and translate the whole freaking
That's
thing.
wild. Even an email, hey, translate.
Yeah, even a TikTok. You
No
can put translate.
way.
Wait, can you do TikTok? Yeah, TikTok. They'll put the subtitles like for you.
Okay, yeah, no, I have seen that.
Yeah,
You're
and
right.
and on Instagram, I could be on a Russian bitch's fucking page and it'll be like, and I'm like, give me Google Translate, like, this is how you apply your foundation. Da-da-da-da. I'm like, I knew she was kind of saying something. Yeah, I think like I met someone who speaks Russian. They said that it's like one of the hardest languages.
I believe it. I feel
Hmm.
like it seems like it.
I'm like, I don't even know what fucking country, what century their fucking letters are from. Like, that shit is crazy.
Yeah, no, even I think for me speaking Spanish sometimes I'm like on the spot if someone's like yeah, I start to get nervous, but if I'm like with family, I'm like, oh, this feels natural.
And you know what it is too? I think what you think is an insane experience for Latinos. Latinos, we feel shame for sometimes forgetting words or not speaking the language up to par to other Latinos. And then you have foreigners who are, from my most experience, my the majority of my experience has been with like white people, and they have no shame in just like saying things regardless if they're right or they're wrong. I'm like, is that because we're Latinos and we feel like, oh my God, we should be like set up to XYZ?
I I mean, when I'm in meetings sometimes and someone's like they only speak Spanish, or I'll communicate with them and I'm like, ay, disculpa, se me olvidó la palabra or cómo decir esto. And they're like,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll try, I'm like, give me a second, I'll look it up. I'm like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
this is how you say the
Mm-hmm.
proper term. At
Mm-hmm.
least when it comes to marketing, because I'm like,
Right.
some of the words in marketing to Spanish, I'm like, oh, shoot, is that what that means?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like we shouldn't be embarrassed. Embarrassado. Oh, that was my word for Halloween, guys. You guys know, I don't want to share my Halloween story, but just know I was blacked out, and that's as much as like say I was so embarrassed. I was just saying I'm embarrassado.
oh my
That's all I could say.
gosh.
Even though I know the word is vergüenza. I play no sabo, and I do know that word. But I was literally like, I was just thinking, like, why the hell do we have so much shame? Like, I think that further perpetuates the idea that you shouldn't even practice Spanish. Like, I think if we're ashamed of ourselves, because I forget a lot of words. If like now that I'm, live on my own and I'm not around my family 24/7, I am definitely only speaking English. Like, only time I speak Spanish at home is when I'm puteando my fucking dog. I'm like, Suki, como es que Suki, si te miro que esa cagada. But I do be speaking, like, my dog is bilingual, but I feel like she mostly responds to Spanish.
Yeah. Well, my Yogi Bear is too, my little dog.
Yeah.
I feel like, I'm like, ahorita te voy a dar una. And he's like, oh,
They're all
no.
scared and shit. It's so funny because when I don't know your dog, but when my dog gets scared, I feel like it really is like the Tom and Jerry like cartoons where they're like, skedaddle, like trying to run. I'm like, look, bitch, I'm gonna fuck you up right now as soon as I motherfucking grab you by the fucking hairs. Like, she just be testing me.
No, my dog, he just doesn't, he likes to play a little chase in the morning because I'm like, I need to take you out right now or else I'm going to be running late for work. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no. I'm like, dude, you're going to use the restroom and you're going to eat so good. So,
yeah, see, I'm trying to get my dog in a routine.
Girl, you got to do it. It's going to bring you peace of mind.
I think I'm the problem. Because I'm like, when I wake up in the morning, like my dog, I feel like if I'm laying in bed all day, she'll stay in bed all day with me. But obviously I have work, so I can't be laying down in bed all day. But I'm just like, I'm trying to get into habit, like, okay, as soon as I wake up and like after I use the restroom, get her, take her to walk and take her to walk. And I've been doing that with her, but I've been traveling a lot these days that I'm just like, damn, it's been hard to get back on my routine. So
hey, but bad. You're doing it, at least. It's not easy being a dog mom.
It's
or even I hear it's not easy being a mom, so I can only imagine.
Yeah, thank God my shit can like walk and feed itself as long as I have food there. Because I'm like, I could not even do that. Yeah, no. Okay. Before we forget, let's do Rose and Thorn. So for the besties, Rose is like the highlight of your week, and Thorn is like something bad. Something bad. So Rose, let me think of my Rose. I'm like, my Rose. Okay. I think I know my Rose. Wait, do I know my Rose? Yes, I know my Rose. Okay, so my Rose is that which is part of my Thorn actually. I got all my shit and I condensed it and it's all in my room because someone's moving in.
Ooh.
I know, my best friend's moving in with me and it feels nice to like have your things, well, actually, I don't know if it feels nice, but like I have my own room. Well, I always have my room. Anyways, I'm too much context to the context, but I feel like I finally got at a place where I'm like, okay, everything else can be like slowly organized, slowly put back together. And I think it was just taking it out and organizing things and going through your shit. It's just like maddening. And then you're traveling a lot, so you don't even have the time to really do it. And I feel like I'm glad that it's over. And I'm like, for the most part, I think like 85% done. Which I feel like is pretty good.
That's pretty good. I mean,
for a movie, I mean, you I'm sure you freaking understand what that is.
Oh my gosh, yes. When we had to move, it was like purging our equipment, our props, like just random stuff that we were finding. But
I bet. Was it hard for you to throw away stuff?
Yes and no. I think there came a point where I was like, get rid of it, donate it. Yeah. You want it, take it home with you. I knew that we were going to be in a new space and I was like, this is new energy, like out with the old, in with the new. Even furniture, we had put some stuff up on like Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. And it just so happened, it was like the last day where I was like, we need to get rid of this. And it was a lady who down in Whittier, she was opening up a tutoring center. And she's like, she came to buy a fridge and we had other desks and stuff. I was like, you know what? I was like, you're really doing something good for the community. I'm like, just take it all with you.
Wow, that's really sweet of you.
Yeah, I was just like, so sometimes I'm like, it goes to a good place.
Yeah, absolutely, it does. And like to think about the returns it'll have for her, right? Like, her students will have a place to sit comfortably, to be in. Like, you understand more than anyone in a small business, like how the cost of that, and like how important that will be.
No, absolutely. I feel like to invest into a new space, like it does, like that's upfront investment. And, for me, I always want to help people out any way I can. And for her, when she shared that with me, I was like, do you have a Keurig? She's like, no, I don't even have that. I'm like, take this one. I'm like, we literally just bought it this year. Just didn't match the new decor. Yeah. And then, but, I was like, hey, she's doing something good. Yeah. So, and I think as business owners, sometimes we just need help. It's a matter of asking for it.
Absolutely. Asking for help. That's the hardest part, I think. Sometimes.
Yeah. It's like, let go of the ego. It's okay to ask questions and say, I don't know what this means.
I've been trying to put that into practice more. I'm like, what the hell is CELO? Like when someone will say something, I'm like, I don't know what it is, and I'll go on Google, and I'm like, okay, still don't know what it is. I'm like, can you just tell me what it is? Because I've been getting that theme a lot in my life that I don't ask a lot of questions. So I'm like, I need to ask more questions. I need to be more curious because I think I just hate feeling dumb.
You know, you have to. I mean,
But
it's natural, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, for us, we just onboarded someone new to our team, and they come from a heavy film background. And for me, I mean, I don't come from film, but some of the terminology that they use, I'm like, what does that mean? I just learned martini means last shot of the day. So we're like, martini.
I love that. Okay.
But I'm like, these are people that, you know, they're very early on in their career. And I'm like, I could learn from you just as much you can learn from us as part of a team.
I love that. Okay. What's your rose?
My rose is I'm officially going on a vacation this week.
Yay. Oh my God, where are you going?
I'm going to one of my good friend's wedding in Puerto Vallarta.
Oh my God, how gorgeous.
Yes.
Puerto Vallarta.
I'm like, we've been there before, but this time I'm like, let's enjoy time with our friends and sip a little margarita, some tequila, and just have a good time.
Yeah.
Unplug. I told my team I'm not taking my laptop. So anything happens, I'll see it when I get back.
Figure it out. Yeah. How hard is it as a business, as the boss, to take time away? And how important is it as a follow-up?
It is really, really hard. I will say that. I've probably, since I've started this business, maybe I've taken 3 vacations. Well, this will be my 3rd one.
Wow.
And it's been over 7 years. Like official, like out of the country. Like,
that's why she ain't been back to Peru.
Exactly. My tia's probably like, girl, we're missing you over here.
Like, we want to know, we want to hear all about this.
Yeah, but I mean, it's really challenging because at the end of the day, you're leading a team. Maybe for us, it's our clients. You know, they don't stop year round. Maybe it slows down some parts in, I would say, June, if that, because they're traveling. But I think for me personally, I've devoted myself to this company and building it and making it what it is today. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, it's not just myself that's dependent on the company, but it's a team that I have.
Yeah.
Like I have to make payroll. I have to make the expenses that come in on the 1st. And at the end of the day, I mean, if I can plan my vacations around projects, that would be fantastic. But literally I'll get Brenda, our marketing manager, she'll come in to a meeting that I'm in, or she'll set things some time aside and say like, hey, we just got an email for a new project. I'm like, when's the due date? What are we looking at? Turnaround time. So it's hard, but I do think it's important for peace of mind. Sometimes that balance is needed as a business owner. I think being selfish is okay. I told myself this year I was supposed to go on a couple trips this past summer, but I didn't because of the new location and renovating. So those are just sacrifices that you have to make. But I was like, you know what? I'm taking this trip in November. I almost thought about canceling it last week.
Oh my God.
But
No.
Yeah, I was like, no, girl, we're not doing that. You deserve it. Go on this trip.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Good. How many days are you going to be gone?
We leave
just
Thursday.
Staff watching in case they forget.
Or clients who are watching. Don't bother me. No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I'm like, look, she's out for a few days. She just says her 3rd vacation out of the 7 years. So I feel like she worked hard for it. She deserves it. Like, I'm vouching for her.
Thank you. I appreciate that. What was the question?
How many days are you going to be gone?
Yes. How many days? Girl, I'm already forgetting.
Yeah, she's already on vacation.
Exactly.
She's
do
like,
not D&D.
Yeah. She's like, do not call me.
We leave Thursday and we come back Sunday.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice.
Quick little turnaround.
Yeah. And Puerto Vallarta, I feel like it's probably warm and nice, like year round.
It's like 87 right now.
Girl, stop.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to take my matte foundation.
Like, can we get too early?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I love that for you. I'm going to New York literally right after we film this episode. And I'm looking at the weather. I'm like 54 degrees. Like in my brain, I can't even imagine 54 degrees.
Girl, that's cold. I stepped out of here and I was like, it's cold outside.
It's freezing. And then it said it would drop to 34, 37. I'm like, is there snow at that point? I'm like, there gotta be snow. Like, ain't no way. I'm like, how? Like, what is 34 degrees?
That is cold.
And
you better take a coat, a scarf.
And the worst part, I'm not really taking coats because my homegirl told me that where we're staying at, there's like this thrift shop with like fur coats.
Oh.
And I'm like, I should get myself a fur coat like in New York, you know? Or like I should just get myself a coat. Because I was gonna buy this other coat from this brand. And when I went to New York last year, I just discovered them. I think they're called like Super Dry.
Oh yes.
Excuse me, Super Dry. And I went into the store and then I saw this, like, it's cute. I like the fur. I like a bunch of extra shit, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So I had like a bunch of like fur here, like a fur trim, and then I had like fur. I don't know if it was fur. I think it was like Afghan faux fur. I don't know what the fuck that even fucking means. Like, it's just faux fur from Afghanistan. I don't know, but Afghan faux fur, or I don't know if it's Afghan fur and then there's faux fur. I don't fucking know. Look at the description on the fucking thing. But ever since then, I've been dreaming about that coat. Like, I have thought about that coat since October of last year.
Okay.
And so I'm like, I'm just going to buy that coat right now.
Girl, you better go on eBay for that coat.
You know, at this point,
yes. Stock eggs, maybe.
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be there a year later. No. But I went on their website and they had a different coat. And it's like a really cute, like long kind of, not a trench, but like a long coat. And it's like brown. And it looks kind of like very vintagey, like a chocolate brown. And then it has a kind of like a beige, like fur trim. And I've just been thinking about that coat. I can't stop thinking about the coat. Like, all I think about is like, I need to get there so I could go immediately to the store so I could go buy that coat.
I hate that feeling when you walk out of a store and you're like, why didn't I buy that?
That was literally my regret. I'm like, why did I not buy that coat? I'm like, who gives a fuck if I'm only going to wear it 3 times a year?
I always ask myself, is it going to bring me happiness? Do I love it?
And then the answer is always yes. My problem is, do you do retail therapy?
Yes, I do.
Or what are your like go-to retail thrifting?
I love thrifting.
Oh my God.
That is my obsession. I am an avid thrifter.
I love thrifting. I swear to God, our day plan tomorrow is thrift till we fucking drop. Like,
there you go, girl.
I got like my little carry-on and I thought it was packing light. I don't know how much my luggage weighs right now, and I'm hoping to God it's like 35 fucking pounds. Like, please, God, please. If not, I'm gonna be wearing a lot of sweaters on the way back. But I'm like, I need to go thrifting in New York.
That's
right?
like, I hear, one of the best places, but I don't know. I haven't gone yet. So, girl, you gotta tell me how you like it.
I'm like, literally, like, all I can think about is like, what am I gonna buy? What am I gonna get? I just can't. I'm like, I feel like, yeah, I do like to shop.
That's like thrifting therapy.
That is thrifting. And it's like, if you like to thrift, you gotta go through every fucking single section, every item, because that's where the goodies are at. Exactly. It's gonna be in the little bin section on the right corner. Then you see a little brown shirt with a little sprinkle. You know what? Let me look at it. It might be a little chiffon. It might be some
girl, it might be cashmere.
It might be cashmere. It might be Afghan fur. I don't know what that even means. Okay, controversial, non-controversial. What do you think about fur? I've recently changed my stance on this. I could go first if you're scared. I'm like,
you know what? My boyfriend tells me I am wrong if I wear fur. But my grandmother on my dad's side, they're Mexican. And when my pops, my grandfather, came here from Guadalajara, he assimilated rather quickly. He came here during, I would say, like maybe the 60s. Mm-hmm. But he bought my grandmother a fur rabbit coat. And when he passed away, and she's still living, but she gifted me the rabbit fur coat. But I haven't gotten myself to wear it because I'm like, I feel guilty. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Just wear it,
but
girl.
It's really soft.
Honestly, I thought about this. I'm like, okay, if we're talking about what is actually environmentally friendly, I started thinking about it. I'm like, is vegan leather, is faux fur, is all these alternatives to real fur actually sustainable and environmentally friendly? After some consideration, I'm like, I understand that it's cruel to kill an animal for an aesthetic purpose, right? I can understand that on a fundamental basis, but I also eat meat. So I cruelly do kill animals so that I can enjoy, the luxury of eating meat because that is a luxury. Why is it better to continue to extra consume all these additional plastics, right? Like palm oil. That vegan leather is just plastic.
That's
It's
true.
just plastic. And in order to produce plastic, it requires more water. It requires more toxins, right? Because you need to then dye it, and that requires dye, and it's a lot of extra chemicals. So I have come to the conclusion after many years and after even being a vegetarian, not recently, 10 years ago. I'm like, clearly. Actually, even then, I was just eating hot Cheetos and quesadillas, so it probably wasn't the best.
Girl, yeah, same. I was vegetarian, plant-based for a minute, then vegetarian. I was like, girl, this does not work on this Latina body.
Yeah, no,
too many carbs.
Too many. It's only carbs, carbs and cheese.
No, I was like the pan dulce for the morning, the afternoon. I was like, girl, this is not healthy.
No, it's not. So I gave it up with some Pizza Hut wings, which I did not go to use the restroom for like 3-4 days. I was concerned.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but it's okay. I'm surviving now, clearly. But I've come to the conclusion that real fur is, I believe, more environmentally sustainable and the better option and alternative to like vegan leather, faux furs. I just think we're using less of Earth's resources to produce something, right? Obviously, with demand and supply, that would increase and a lot more animals would be slaughtered, XYZ. I understand that. But I still think real fur or even leather is sustainable because a real leather jacket is going to last me 10 plus 20 years. A fake leather jacket from Forever 21, which I owned, it was my tried and true, and someone just sold it at Prohibition, and I remember that fucking bitch because I even tipped her. So fuck you to that bitch because that's my favorite leather jacket. It did last a good amount of years.
We all had that little faux leather jacket from Forever 21.
Come on.
I remember losing mine.
I literally remember that bitch. If I ever go to Prohibition and I see that bitch, just know I'm gonna get her name so I can write a Yelp review. But I just feel like, that jacket's not going to last me that much longer. Like, maybe it could last me 5 years if I don't use it that often. But it just breaks. It just withers. I'm sorry. I just do think leather is the more elite. And yes, that it's probably against the world now. But I don't know.
Girl, PETA, hope doesn't come after.
You know what? I'm sorry. I was a vegetarian, so I believed in the message. Can we say that at least? Like, I believed in the message. So I think you should wear. It is different. That's vintage. You're wearing vintage furs.
I'm like, and it was a gift for my pops to my grandmother, so
I feel like, yeah, girl, just fucking throw on that coat.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready yet. I don't know if I'm ready yet.
You're like, you don't want to fight with PETA? Look.
No. I think it's just like the meaning of it. I'm like, I don't want to. I don't know. I think it has a story.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I kept it in its little case, and I'm like, okay, there'll come a time and place to wear it.
Yeah, a fancy gala. When Ouuilove hosts its first gala, who knows?
Ooh,
a little pop out. What color is the coat? Like a brown?
It's like a grayish brown tone.
Grayish brown. Okay, it's so. Wow, you're better than
it's
me.
It's like a little crop top almost. It's really cute, but I have it safe packaged, so we'll see.
We'll see. We'll wait for the day. I want to be peeping. Okay, let's do our Thorn. So I have mine because I've been thinking about it on the way. My Thorn is that I had to fucking clean out all my motherfucking shit. And you don't realize how much shit you got until you gotta get all your shit out of the motherfucking room. So my Thorn is, goddamn, I have a bunch of shit, and I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna organize? My room is, it's a closet at this point.
Girl, it's time to purge.
It is.
Truly
Everyone's been saying that, and I did. So right before my friend moved in, that was like my vanity room.
Okay.
So in my vanity room, I set it up, so I went through all my clothes and I threw out all the clothes I don't use. So I already purged like a few months ago, and I'm not a hoarder. Like, if I don't wear something and I can't remember when's the last time I wore it or how I would wear it with something that I got now, I throw it away. Like, I don't hold on to clothes. I'm just like, next. I don't shop a lot often either, but when I do shop, I go crazy, you know? So there's just like that. This is it. I feel like Michael Jackson. This is it. Like, there's literally what I couldn't even lose one calzone because I just bought a whole bunch of calzones. Like, girl, I'm trying to keep them together. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, no. I mean, I love purging. I like to do it every season because I'm like, I get rid of it, I can get something new.
Mm-hmm.
Thrifting, actually. Thrift something new.
It's new to me.
Yeah, exactly. What I guess to Thorn of the week, I would say packing, guys. I really don't like packing and planning my outfits. Like, I'm like, that is just so much work in itself. Like, it probably takes me like 4 hours to pack. And then I'm a Virgo, so I like to run through my little list, my pre-list of like my toiletries. I'm like, okay, how about my makeup?
Mm-hmm.
It can get chaotic and take forever. I'm usually like packing till probably like 3 a.m.
Yeah. That was literally me. Like right before we got here, I'm like, all right, I need to pack everything. I need to be ready to go so I could fucking dip. God, I hate packing. Yeah, that's true. Packing is a bitch.
And then to unpack. But you know what? I'm like, vacation. I'm thinking vacation mode, beach, margarita.
That's actually okay. You're a Virgo, so
ooh,
you unpack as soon as you get home. Is that you, or it's gonna be there for a while?
No, I like to unpack when I get home.
See, that's some Virgo shit. I'm gonna be honest right now. I already knew she was gonna say that. I already knew she was gonna say that. Personally, as an Aries.
Ooh, an Aries. Okay.
My shit's staying there till next year. Like, I actually just unpacked my carry-on for my trip when I just came back from Sacramento on Thursday, okay? So it's been a few. Oh yeah, it's already.
Girl, it was the weekend.
And it's a 3-day weekend, so I would like to think that today's like an extension of the weekend. So that was like my goal, my plan. But yeah, I only unpacked it because I had to pack some other shit. Otherwise, I promise you probably would have still been there when I came back from New York.
Yeah, no, I
should do better.
Hey, to each their own, okay? Personally, I'm like, as soon as that bag gets upstairs, unpacked, dirty laundry, toiletries, go back. But I live with a Gemini, so my Gemini is also like minimalist. He's like, let's put some stuff away.
Damn. Yeah, no, I guess you do become like the people you talk shit about, because they talk shit about my mom when she was a hoarder, but I guess I'm a hoarder in the sense I just take forever to take everything out. Well, I don't know. Does my mom do that? I don't know. I might be saying. I might be slandering
like a typical
her name.
Aries
energy.
I feel like it's okay.
It's just me. I can't help it. I just feel like I'll get back to it, and then it's like 2 months later, and I'm like, oh shit, let me pick this up again.
I think Aries, you guys just like to plan. Keep moving on to the next thing.
Yes, I'm a procrastinator. If all of you here were wondering today, yeah, I can't help it. Do you have any Friendsgiving plans? Ooh. Why do I feel like I said like a lot of plurals?
So we do have a Friendsgiving, but you guys will understand what the goal of that Friendsgiving is.
Okay. So TBD?
Yeah, TBD.
Okay, what are your Friendsgiving hosting 101 tips?
Ooh, create a mood board. Have a theme. Find a location. Maybe Ouuilove Studios.
Ooh, I love that.
And the food. I think put categories. Not everyone should be bringing drinks only.
Right, or cups and plates.
I think also set rules. I saw something really cute on TikTok where it was charcuterie boards, but Mexican style. And I was like,
theme.
Yes, a theme. I was like, that is so cute. So, yeah, I think have a theme in place and have all your utensils. People don't be grabbing your food with your hands. Use the tongs or something. But yeah, those have a good time. Some good music too.
Yes, good drinks. Hey, and if everybody want to sign up and bring a bottle, you know what? It's okay. I think for me, if you're hosting Friendsgiving, you got to make the main dish.
Oh, yes, that's true.
You have to make the main dish, and you should absolutely have the side that you want most accompanying it. Because I think that's really important. Like, if you want to make, maybe not everybody likes turkey, they like a good chicken. You want to make a roasted chicken. Like, a roasted chicken would go perfect with some potato wedges, garlic, rosemary, potato. But I really want them in my specific way. It's going to complement the seasonings I got. So if you're going to make the main dish, you should pick the main side. And I do agree with you with categorizing. So maybe this person, you're in charge with like desserts, and you're in charge of the drinks, and you're in charge of, all the extra little goodies, So I do think that you should assign things, and you should know what people are going to bring ahead of time. Because sometimes some people bring crazy shit. Like, I once went to a Friendsgiving and they brought pizza. Who the fuck brings pizza to a Friendsgiving?
I'm dead.
And it was like Little Caesar's pizza. Who the fuck don't even got $20 for at least a little Pizza Hut or something? Like, No, I'm sorry. Like, we were grown ass people. I'm not talking about when you're still in college and we're all fucking rubbing nickels and dimes trying to make it work. But you're gonna bring a Little Caesars pizza to a Friendsgiving?
No, that's true. I mean, hey, a little appetizer, bake a little cookies.
I'm like, at least bring the crazy bread.
And the sauce, huh?
And the sauce, at least. No.
Or the ranch.
Or the ranch. Like, but the pizza? I feel like Little Caesars, not for Friendsgiving. That's like a late movie night or something chill, but Friendsgiving. So please don't let your friends bring Little Caesars box or pizza to the Friendsgiving.
I do think people should share like maybe what they're thankful for at a Friendsgiving.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a lot to be thankful for during the holidays sometimes, being around great people.
Mm-hmm. That's a good little reminder. Yeah. I feel like I wish my family did a little tradition like that. Like, go around the table and just say what you're most thankful for.
We do that with my family before we eat. It's like my mom, she's like, before anyone eats, we go around. There's like 30 of us.
Oh my God.
And so the food by the time
it's all cold.
But you know what? It's like people are laughing, there's crying, and it just, I don't know, it feels wholesome. I think it's a time to really get to express to your family like what you're truly thankful for. Yeah. Maybe you could probably do it every day, but I think at that time when you guys are together and united, it feels, I don't know, it feels warm.
Yeah. I do love the holiday season. Even though I spend a lot of time with my family, I'm like, I do love the holiday season because I feel like it just makes it more special. Like you're saying, just to sit around the table and see everyone and be like, oh, Edna, I love you so much. You know? And like, oh, because of XYZ.
Yeah. It's a soft moment.
Yeah. What I loved from my friend, she's a Leo, and she did the most Leo thing ever. For her birthday, which I want to start doing now, is on her birthday, she asked, or everyone went around the table and saying like what they really loved about her. And I'm like, that's really special, because I think often we'll send like a cute birthday message and we'll include those things, but it's nice to hear it. You know, I think it's really nice to hear it out loud. Yeah, like, I love you. I think you're so great. Thanks for being an amazing friend to me. Like, that just feels deep. Like, I don't know, better than like a text. Like, although obviously texts are appreciated, I just feel like to hear it, to see it, have someone look at you and tell you like, you just mean so much to me. It's, you know, priceless.
I would probably start crying because I'm a little emotional, creative. I'll say that. But I feel like when people say kind things, I'm like, no, stop. I'm going to cry.
Yeah. It's important, guys. Like, during this Friendsgiving, during, you know, the state of the world, I think it's really important to tell people how much they matter to you. You know, I think tell them that they matter, why they matter, because sometimes we often think like, oh, people know these things. Yeah. And they might, but sometimes you need a refresher.
No, I think positive affirmations are so important. You never know what someone's going through, or maybe internally they're just like, I don't feel myself, or I'm struggling with XYZ. But I think hearing those words like, you're doing a great job, or, you know, I loved what, I mean, I'm referring back to my team, right? Because I tell them every day that they leave work, I'm like, great job today. Because I think we're people and we're human. Sometimes those positive affirmations could be the one thing they hear for the day. Yeah.
So besties, if you're hearing this, you're amazing. You're doing great. Keep on grinding. Don't let something stop you, because you haven't even hit peak yet. Like, you're still on the way. It's just that you're still beginning. Okay, well, thinking about Friendsgiving, giving, what do you really want for Christmas? What's a good gift to give your girlfriend for Christmas?
Ooh, my girlies.
I'm like, we need a Christmas basket. Fuck a spooky basket. You know, I'm like, or no, keep a spooky basket. Let's add on to that. I feel like for me, when I think, what do I really want? Now that I'm getting older, what I appreciate, really good pajamas, which sounds crazy, but a good pajama and a good robe, that's gonna do it for you.
Girl, I had Tupperware on my Christmas list this year.
That's some grown shit.
I'm like, oh, we need some new Tupperware. I think last year my mom gifted us brand new like pots and pans, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this was like the best gift we got. But I think, yes, it's 30s energy here. Yeah,
I'm like, but you appreciate it, because I'm really looking at my pots and pans lately, and I'm like, I need some new pots and pans. I need some new knives.
Yes.
The
Girl, you gotta
tongs, all that stuff. I don't know what's the general word for it, but like I absolutely need that.
a new set of knives would be nice.
It would be nice. I feel like that's like, don't get that shit for your mom on Mother's Day. But if they're a good cook and you get them like a real special knife, like those
Ooh,
Japanese
yes.
butcher knives, my sister has one. Those shits are scary.
We
Careful with
have
your
a
toes.
thin one, the Japanese style, and Ryan, my boyfriend, he likes to cut the salmon with it, and he's like, "Oh, I brought up my knife for tonight." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, the famous knife!"
Hey, those are legit. Those Japanese knives are legit, and they'll last you like for a lifetime.
Girl, that knife has its own little drawer.
I'm sure special care has to be washed in a specific way. No, definitely not putting it in the what's it called, the dishwasher.
No.
Okay, what's another like a must get Christmas gift? I feel like you can't go wrong with skincare. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yes.
An
Makeup.
expensive.
I love makeup on Christmas.
Makeup.
I mean, some cute little blush or lip liner.
Lip
Girl,
liner. As a Latina, absolutely you need your lip liner. Yeah. I went through 30 of my bags today to find all my fucking brown lip liners. Because I'm like, I'm not going to go to New York without a motherfucking single brown lip liner. And sometimes it's not the right shade of brown. Huh? Yeah, and I'm like, sometimes it's not the right shade of brown.
That was me. I have this one from Mexico. Bisou is the brand. Mm-hmm. And I was looking for it all last week. I couldn't find it. And it was at the bottom of my lip liner drawer. And I was like, this is the one I've been dying to wear for the past week. So I'm like, I'm wearing it today.
See? Okay. So if she has a special item that's maybe limited edition, or that's maybe she uses it all the time, but she got it in Mexico that one time in that one trip, do your research. Go online, go to Besties, put up some lip liners, see if they got it on eBay, see if they got it on Amazon, see if they got it on Mercari. I don't know. Check your local listings. Poshmark. I mean, I feel like that, or I think what would be a really cute sentimental gift if you have a girlfriend who's more about like pulling at the heartstrings than she is about the material, because you also need to know your woman. If she wants that Gucci bag, that Louis bag, and that's all that's going to make her happy, then you just get her something designer. But if she's more like, I want something like sentimental, I love when people write me a card. Or,
oh, yes.
I remember when I told someone, oh, my favorite little teddy bear when I was a child, and then they get you the teddy bear that's like similar or the exact same teddy bear. Like, find something that is meaningful to that individual person. Because you could get general blanket gifts, right? Like makeup, PJs, clothes, but get one gift that's sentimental, that it just means that much more to them. Whether it's a shirt that's from Peru because of the llama, wool, and it's like very specific to you, and you're like, oh my god, this is a reminder of like me, you, and like my heritage, my culture. So I think besides the general good gifts, think about like what's so meaningful about this person, or something that would mean a lot to them. I think that would be like a really good, Christmas gift.
I mean, I always look back at like past conversations. I'm like, okay, what did they say they liked from that? Or, take a little note.
Yeah, that's smart. I feel like I need to do better at, well, I just usually get all my nieces and everything. I'm like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? But this year I'm going to do something different. I can't say it here because don't want my sisters to know. Because if I change my mind and I don't get them that, I'm like, then I'm going to be there to be like, I thought you said you were going to get them X, Y, Z. But I want to get them one gift that's like going to last them forever. So
that's cute.
That's already a hint within itself.
You're a good little tia.
Actually, I really am. I'm like, I've had a lot of practice. Aww. Yeah, one of my nieces, she's like 22, and like now I'm going out with her, and I'm like, oh my god,
girl, that's like, well, me and my baby cousin, she was helping me for a bit, and she's 21. I'm like, different energy, girl, but I love you. Be safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still wilding out with my niece, so I feel like she's if anything more calm than me.
No way.
Yeah, and I'm like, Bella, please don't like look away, please. I'm embarrassed. That's all I kept saying during on Halloween. 'Cause, yeah, keep that story to myself because that's really embarrassing. But all I kept saying was embarazado.
Oh my gosh.
My homie was like, bitch, don't ever fucking say that word to me again. I'm like, embarazado. I can't even help it. Yeah, but it's all right. It is what it is. You guys, you win some, you lose some. Like, life is like a box of chocolates, right? You just never know what you're gonna get.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay. So before we leave, what is something that you want to leave the besties with You know, whether it's business, how to check you out, what services you provide, like what do the besties need to know about Ooh I Love? Or
If
something you want
you,
to leave them with them, anything.
yeah, I think if you are thinking about being in marketing or curious about the creative space or just are like, I want to learn more about maybe what it takes to be a business owner, I think feel free to send me a DM or contact our team at Ooh I Love and ask questions. I think the topic here earlier was like, when should you be voicing your thoughts or opinions? I think reach out. It never hurts to ask someone for a cup of coffee date or just saying like, hey, can I have 20 minutes of your time? I
Mm-hmm.
think it's about helping each other out and starting with the besties themselves and
Mm-hmm.
exposing them to this industry that I wish I would have had a mentor. So I'd love to be your bestie in any way.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and honestly, I really wanted you to be on here, Steph, and I really wanted you to be here because it's important to see Latinos, in spaces uplifting other Latinos. Like, obviously, Te Salud is one of our sponsors, but just generally speaking, like, it's awesome that, that's a Latino brand and he's like supporting a Latina brand, right? Like your own company and like you're uplifting and empowering one another. And it's really important to know that I didn't even know your story. You got laid off and you're like, look what that like literally changed the trajectory of your life to six.
Um,
It like lifted you up to success, and it's important I think for us to sometimes listen in here. Like sometimes you're gonna think you're at the top, and that's not even peak. Like literally, that was not even your peak.
yeah, it
You know,
wasn't true.
like you're literally in a place like 10 million times better that you have control over, and you got to work hard and make a lot of sacrifices. And I think it's really important to hear about the sacrifices and the journey that it took to get here, because it looks like a success when you see it now, and it's not like we don't know the whole story of Ooh I Love before it became Ooh I Love. So it's really
Absolutely.
important, and we thank you for taking the time to drive all the way over here on a freaking Monday. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I
No.
appreciate it. And, thank you and your team. And honestly, we look forward. Who knows? We might have a little pop ups just so y'all could check out Ooh I
Ooh.
Love. Who knows? Stay tuned. We'll BRB. It's TBD. I don't know. But yeah, besties, plug in your channels. Where can they find you?
Yes, so feel free to look for us at Ooh I Love on Instagram and TikTok. And then for my personal, it's at Denitza Leon on Instagram. And you can visit our website, ouuilove.com, or our studio's location or studio's website, which is ouuilovestudios.com.
Awesome. Well, you heard it here, besties. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, drop a comment down below. Did this inspire y'all gonna be marketing geniuses and directors? Or what are you gonna do? Let us know. What are your Friendsgiving hosting 101 tips? Like, are y'all making the roasted chicken? Are you making some turkey? Or are you just getting it from Costco, rotisserie style? Like, oh, it's okay. I don't know. We're not here to judge. Just let us know. But thank you, besties.
Thank you.
Bye.